There's an imposter at this conference. We're going to find them. We're going to kick them out. So buckle up. But first about me. My name's Angharad Edwards. I generally go by AJ because people don't like the name Angharad. It's too Welsh for them. I work for an insurance company. I'm sure you can guess which one. I'm a Scrum Master. That is my day job. However, I'm moving over to a different company soon to be a Client Success Manager, so I'm excited about that. I'm part of the Agile coaching team. On my business cards, it says that I'm a public speaker. I'm not too sure about that one quite yet. I've got a degree from Bath Spa. I've got a master's from Sheffield. I've got a weird, I don't know what it is, from Dunguk University in South Korea. Don't even ask me about that one. I've got some fancy qualifications, and I'm an advocate for women in technology. It's called Evolution, where I work. Pretty cool, right? What a narcissist, you're thinking. Talking all about herself. But what I failed to exclude there is that I am, in fact, a big fat fake. I am a fraud. I do not belong here. I do not belong to have any of those things. Why? Well, because I've got this voice in my head that says things like, I just got lucky. I was in the right place at the right time. I had loads of help. My friend recommended me. They needed a woman. God forbid you put a pair of breasts on a team in an IT world. And they felt sorry for me. No doubt when my submission came through for this conference, they thought, poor girl, nobody's ever going to choose that talk. Best give her a go. My current job I got because someone recommended me. We've got a scheme. If you get the job where I work, that other person gets £250. So I think they just wanted the money. I'm the only woman on my team, which is why you talk to me. If you talk to me outside of this, I'm like a lad. It's because I got fit in right. I just got lucky. You know, most of the times, I didn't even know how I fell into these things. It was in the right place at the right time. I was in South Korea and someone said, do you want to do this thing? And I went, yeah. So I did. And I had loads of help. There's people all the time helping me. Because in my life, I feel like this chicken. I am this chicken on stilts, and I am surrounded by flamingos, glorious flamingos wherever I go. I look around in this room of flamingos, and I'm up here on my crutches, trying to go through. Because I sat through so many amazing talks today, and I didn't have a fucking clue what was going on. And I looked around, and I thought someone's going to kick me out any second now. On the stalls, they kept asking me questions, and I kept making things up. I was answering because I didn't want them to find out that I was a fraud, that I didn't belong here, that I wasn't a developer. And it gets so bad. I come into work and I feel like this chicken on stilts, and I look around and I wait for the tap on my shoulder that says, get out, you don't belong. And it gets me down. It gets me down. And I said to my manager, I can't go on feeling like this. Like at any moment you're going to realize I'm not a good Scrum Master, that I'm not an agile person. In fact, I'm just winging it most of the time. And he said, no, you've got it wrong because you've got Imposter Syndrome. So I said, okay, sounds fake. And he said, no, it's real. Imposter Syndrome. It's this little voice inside your head that calls you a fraud, calls you a fake. And I said, okay. Still sounds fake. So he said, okay. If you want to play it like that. So I did. And I went away and I researched it. And I found these two ladies. So we've got Dr. Clance on this side, Dr. Ims on this side. And they were two university professors in the University of Georgia. And these ladies did a study of 150 high-performing women in that university. And the same thing happened. The same magical thing happened in this study. these high-performing women would come along and say things like, my admission to this university was a mistake. My form obviously got snuck in with someone else's. Or actually, they didn't read the name properly and they just flew it in. Or in fact, actually, I was just there to fill in a box, tick that diversity quota. And as time went on, and the more research these two ladies did, the more they realized that actually imposter syndrome affects not just high-performing women, it affects pretty much everyone at some point in their lives. And the most recent figures that have come out say about 85% of British people experience imposter syndrome at some point in their lives. Now, I just want to make a clarification before I go on. The actual name for this is imposter phenomenon, but I can't say that word very well. So if it's okay with you all, I'm going to call it imposter syndrome for the rest of the talk. Good. One person's nodding, so I'll go with him. Thanks. So I'm going to tell you a bit about this research because it's very wordy, and I don't want to bore you. And I found some case studies that I found really interesting. So I'll tell you about some of these people that I saw in the case studies. The first is the badass boss babe, right? She is top of her game. She is CEO. She is amazing. I love her. But if you asked why she got the job, why she became CEO, how she managed to climb and smash that glass ceiling, she'll say it's down to her uncle. Now, that's a really weird thing to say, except her uncle got her the job in the first place. He helped her gain those contacts. So everything that she's seen since that point on, she doesn't credit to her talent and to her working hard. She attributes it to, she knew someone. The second person, a nurse, very highly regarded in all the medical journals. She's amazing, does all the public speaking. But if you asked her why she's so successful, she'll say it's because she's a person of a colour and because she's a woman, and for no other reason. She thinks she's there for that diversity quota. And then the third person, the analyst, can write, lines of numbers, memorize digits. He just gets it, right? I work with one of these guys. They just get it. And I look on and I say, wow, how did you do that? And he goes, oh, it's nothing. It's nothing special. Because if you asked him what he thinks talent is, he'll say that it's his brother. Because the brother is an artist. And he can't imagine not being able to kind of come up with some sort of art, some sort of music. He sees that as real talent. That what he does with this data isn't actually anything special. Does anyone in the room recognize any of these characters in their workplace, in their friendship groups, in their family? Yeah, a few nods. It just doesn't happen to normal people. It happens to the celebrities as well. Maya Angelou, she wrote, "Why does the caged bird sing?" Brilliant. She wrote 11 books and she thought, oh, they're going to find out. I run a game on everybody. She thought that they were going to take away those books, that success. Another person. Tom Hanks. Love Tom Hanks. What an amazing actor. When are they going to discover that I am, in fact, a fraud and take everything away from me? What a crazy viewpoint. Could you imagine going up to Tom Hanks and being like, I found you out. That's it. You're done. Get out. I couldn't. So it's funny to me how these celebrities suffer from it just like us normal people. So on that, I just want you to read through these statements. Has everyone had a chance to read through those? Yeah? Okay. What I want you to do now is stand up if you've ever thought, either now or in the past, of one of those statements, or more. And I want you to look around the room. And I mean like properly look around the room, like proper turn. Give each other a wave, go on. Ah, beautiful. I love how you all just sat back down. Maybe I'm not done with you yet. Rude. I always love it seeing the amount of people that stand up during this talk. Because what it affirms to me is this. That we're walking around thinking that we know what we're doing, but in fact, none of us really know what we're doing. Actually, we're just making it up as we go along. These statements, is anyone experiencing one of these at the moment? Or a few of these? Yeah? You comfortable saying which ones?
Yeah, the one about me being the least intelligent among my colleagues.
Yeah? Yeah. And what about you? Did you say one?
So worrying about succeeding, even though I never really think that the succeeding despite really having confidence.
Yeah? Yeah. People at the back, did we have some? Yeah? Shout it out.
Disappointed that I've not achieved more.
Achieve more? Yeah, I think that's a good shout, especially social media, right? We look around and we see all the amazing things that people are doing who are our age and younger and what they've accomplished, and we start comparing ourselves to those people, right? The things about people's expectations, not succeeding even though they have faith in us. Has anyone recently transitioned jobs, careers? Yeah, there we go, knew it. That one is more, you got the job, you're amazing, well done, and now you're going to this new job. And you're like, oh God, they're going to find out that I just put on like my good face that day. Right? They're going to find out that wasn't the real me. Any other statements calling out to anyone? Yeah, go on. All of them? Yeah, all of them. So, the more statements you tick off on this list, the more of an imposter you are feeling at this moment in time. Okay, so about 85% of us at one time experience one or more of these statements. That's kind of normal because imposter syndrome keeps us humble, keeps us grounded. It stops us from going into that massive hall and going, I'm the best agile person ever! I'll do that tomorrow for you if you're lucky, right? Keeps us grounded, keeps us from doing silly things like that. But the more we check off, the more it can get in the way with our lives and our confidence. And that's when it becomes a problem. Because what can happen is if you try to not combat imposter syndrome, it becomes what's called a maladaptive perfectionism. And that's where everything has to be right and you have to be top of your game all of the time. And it's tough to be that person. So just remember this, that we're all walking around, when you go on the tube tonight, when you leave this hall, look around and think, yeah, I'm on to you all. None of you know what you're doing. It's brilliant. It's liberating. So I'm going to talk a little bit now about the imposter cycle. So this is what happens when you have these imposter syndrome type thoughts. So the first thing that happens is you get a piece of work or project, maybe a bit of code you need to work on. You get given it. And the first reaction that you get is anxiety and self-doubt. Oh, I can't do it. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it. Why didn't you give it to so-and-so? They'll be much better at it than me. So what do? One of two things. You either over-prepare or you procrastinate. So the over-preparers, these are the people that will work on it non-stop. And they will give it every second of every day that they've got working on this thing. Do we have any over-preparers in the room? Yeah, a few hands there. Now, the other camp is the procrastinators. Now, these are the people that put it off and put it off and put it off until the last minute. Do you have any procrastinators in the room? Yeah, I'm a procrastinator. Now, these two camps merge into each other. The more you like something, the more you'll over-prepare on it. The more you dislike something, the more you'll procrastinate over it. I love PowerPoint presentations. I will work all day if you give me the chance. I hate Excel. I will put that off until the day I die. But then a funny thing happens because I put it off until like the last day. I then over-prepare and go insane on it. So from there, what happens? You succeed. Well done. You did the thing. I'm so proud of you all right now. Good job, guys. Except you get this praise. You get this temporary relief. Yes, I did do it. I'm amazing. I am best person ever. And then you get these feelings again. These feelings of doubt, of being a fake. Well, I prepared so much on it, I could not fail. And in fact, I had loads of help on it. And my team did this on it. And that person did that. And actually, I didn't do much at all. And then we're back into this circle. So to bring it to life a little bit more, I'll show you my example of my imposter cycle. And it looks something like this. I needed to do a professional qualification for my job. It is the Professional Agile Leadership from Scrum.org. Is anyone familiar with Scrum.org? A few. Okay. It's basically a little online exam. What did I do? Oh, Lord, I'll never pass this exam. And I went round and I told everybody that I wouldn't pass this exam. I went from desk to desk in my office. I rung everyone that I could and said, I have to do this exam and I'm not going to be able to do it. So what did I do next? I procrastinated. Until a week before, and then I became this over-preparing person, and I went hell for leather on it. Because I read every book that I could. I talked to every coach. I took the practice exam over and over and over. I listened to podcasts on the way home. I got in, talked about it with my husband. He hated that. What do you think happened next? I passed! Success! 97%! I'm the most professional agile leader there is. Get on my level. Amazing. Yes, we knew you could do it. Well done. I had every faith in you, AJ. Of course you could do it. Yeah, I can do it. Except, well, I already knew most of the answers from the practice exam. And then I sat next to my friend who was there when I was doing it. So if I got one of the questions wrong, he would have looked over and told me anyway. So I couldn't really failed. And then because I read that book so much, that pretty much gave me all the answers. And if I was that good, I would have got 100%. And all of a sudden, I'm trapped in this cycle. So next time that I had to do something, I would be back into this feeling of self-doubt, of being a fake. It's depressing. It's not good for you. It's not a good feeling either. Discrediting your success is like that. So how do I break out? Well, here are some tools. It's not all doom and gloom, I promise. This imposter cycle, you need to recognize when you're in it, and that is bloody hard. So for an example, I have to do this talk. And again, the first thing that enters my mind, I'm not going to be any good at this. I'm going to mumble. I'm probably going to speak Welsh halfway through. Maybe you'll all get up and leave, which you are welcome to do at any time. Now, instead of procrastinating or over-preparing, I did something else. And that is committed a certain amount of time per week to work on this talk. So on a Friday at 12 o'clock, my alarm goes off for 2 hours. Not continuously like, but you get me. It goes off, 12 o'clock, boop, 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 imposter time, boop, 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 boop. Okay, imposter time it is. And I sit down for those 2 hours and I work on this talk, whether that's the presentation, whether it's looking at more sources, listening to other talks, doing this talk for other people so they can feed back on it. And after those 2 hours are up, I finish. And that is hard. Because sometimes you're so engrossed in something that you don't want to stop doing it. So to just stop after 2 hours is hard. On the flip side, sometimes I'll be really involved in my normal day job. and that alarm will go off, and it's so tempting to go, oh, I'll just do it again in like 5 minutes. But I know that I won't, because that's how you get trapped in this circle. It's 2 hours a week. I commit to doing this. Now from this, hopefully I'll get some sort of success. Nobody's booed me off yet. And I'll receive feedback. I've got a feedback slide at the end. We've got the cards if you prefer to do that. Well, do both ways if you wish. And that's really important because of what I will do when I leave this room tonight. I will cry. Big, fat, ugly tears in the toilet. Because I will think about all the things that I said wrong and didn't explain properly. How some of you gave me really sad looks. Oh, don't look so sad. Oh. And I'll become obsessed with this. But this is where the feedback comes in. I can look at that feedback and be like, actually, it wasn't that bad. And if something was bad, okay, that's fine, I can change it. And that's difficult for an imposter to do. Because on those slides of statements, you saw that actually getting feedback and evaluations, that's quite difficult. Because we want to avoid them, because we don't want to be told, actually, you are a fraud, you are an imposter. So that's one way to break out, by time boxing and getting feedback. If you're not quite up to that, or you can't recognize that you're in this cycle, I've got a few other tips for you. One is a thought ladder. And with a thought ladder, what you do is you put a negative statement or something that you're thinking about yourself at the bottom. And then you put something that you want to aspire to or want to believe about yourself up the top. For me, my bottom is I'm bad at my job. That's my default kind of feeling. I'm bad at my job. Where I want to be, CEO. I don't know what of, just some sort of CEO. If anyone's got a job out there for CEOs, come talk to me afterwards. Now, it's a long way to go, right? Between bad at my job and CEO, I've got a lot of progress to make. I need to climb that ladder. So what do? I climb it by writing either positive or neutral statements about myself, as factual as I can. Now, I say positive or neutral because sometimes when you're in a sad, dark imposter space and you're not feeling so good about your skills and abilities, it's hard to think of something positive. So just write something neutral instead. So for me, this is, I run the Agile courses. So I can't be that bad at my job if I'm running the courses. They wouldn't let me do that, right? They hired me because they thought I'd do well. Not because they wanted to just fire someone as a weird exercise to scare everyone else. Although now I'm talking about it, it seems that way, oh no. And I received spotlights on my work. This is like a monetary award type thing that we get. Every time we do something good, they throw some money at us. So I can't be that bad at my job because they're giving me money to do it. So slowly I can change my mindset from I'm bad at my job to actually, yeah, I could probably be CEO one day. I'm climbing that ladder. Next tool I'm going to give you is the worst one in my opinion, and that is a positive qualities list. Now, why is it the worst, AJ? You might be screaming in your heads, I hear you, I hear you. It's because it's so cringy. Because you have to write really good things about yourself. I'm positive and energetic, caring and considerate, always looking to improve. I hate saying that. But I've got it wrote down in like a little book under my bed that I stashed so nobody can ever see it. And yet here I am telling it all to you. And it's going to be on YouTube to haunt me forever, so there we go. So when I'm down and I'm feeling like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing and I don't deserve to be at this conference, that's not necessarily true because I'm looking to improve. That's why I'm here. Positive qualities. Another favorite of mine is a challenge notebook. This is the hardest to do in real time. It's a common CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy tool. And it looks something like this. You have 4 columns: a comment, a reaction, a thought, and a challenge. And how it goes is someone will say something to you. Amazing work on that project. Great facilitation on that call. Great course. Fantastic presenting. Anything like that. So my example, amazing work on that project. Now 2 things happen. A reaction comes out of my mouth and a thought comes into my head. The reaction is, oh, I didn't do anything. Straight away, guard up. Didn't do anything. Thought, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just winging it. Now, it's hard to do in real life because we're in our one-to-one, right? And you're saying blah, blah, and I'm like, hold on, let me get my challenge notebook. Right, you said, well done on that project, right? I've got to write down that, well, I didn't do anything. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing, right? It's hard to do. So do it in retrospect, unless you're a remote worker. So what do we do with this? We challenge the reaction and the thoughts, okay? Oh, I didn't do anything. Okay, so let's challenge that. I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just winging it. Let's challenge those thoughts, those comments. Did I not really do anything? Well, I'm a Scrum Master, so yeah, maybe. No, I facilitated the calls. I gave everyone the ceremonies. I made sure that the right people were in the room. Made sure that we had the budget. Tracked the holidays. Got everyone together. Run courses. Liaised with stakeholders. Talked to the business partners. That doesn't sound like nothing to me. That doesn't sound like I don't know what I'm doing. It may feel like I'm winging it, but perhaps I'm not. Are any of those useful? Does anyone use any of these at the moment? Now, some of these are quite difficult to take away and implement straight away. So I'll give you my last tool, and my favorite tool, and that is these ladies. Does anyone know who they are? TLC. It's always the men that know this. I'm always shocked. I love it. Love it. Whew. Now, I know that I'm agile, but I'm not talking about I don't want no waterfalls. I know we're at a development conference, and I'm not talking about no scrubs or no bugs. Oh. I'm not talking about tender loving care, nor am I talking about these ladies. I'm talking about, are our thoughts true? Are they logical? Are they constructive? When we say things like, I'm really bad at my job, is that true? Am I actually bad at my job? No, because they would have fired me by now. If it was true, if I was genuinely bad at my job, and I was in a peer review conversation, I was on some sort of development plan, is it logical that I'm never going to be good at my job? No, because I'm going to try and improve. If I wasn't trying to improve, is it constructive? Is it constructive to me to continue being in that job? Is it constructive to not put any effort into improving whatsoever? It's a hard conversation to have. Is it true? Is it logical? Is it constructive? I have a really good friend. I call her my cry in the bathroom friend. And I ring her when I'm crying in the bathroom. And I say things to her like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing on this project. I don't understand finance. Oh, I'm at this conference and everybody seems to get it. And I don't. And she goes, well, is that true? Is it true that everyone in this conference is getting every single word, understanding every single topic? I can see by your faces that it's not true. Is it logical? Is it logical that out of all the people here that I'm the only person not understanding what's going on? Am I here to try and improve? Yeah, I am. Is it constructive to myself? Well, no, because I am trying to improve. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to be better. If nothing else, get some nice lunch. Find yourselves people who will challenge you on the true, logical, constructive. Now, we've got a little bit of an exercise. I've got some booklets at the front. Could I just have some help to hand them out? Scatter them around, people. Now you will need a pen for this. I have some pens. They are the Bristol Women's Network pens, which you can keep if you wish. Oh. If you don't have a pen, try and share with a buddy. Pens. Pen. Go. Pens over here. Pen. Pen. Any pens? Oh, I feel like I'm selling them. Pens for £1. 2? You can just share. Look, I've only got 4. I'm coming to you, I promise. Woo. Any pens up here? No, we good? Right, okay. So, pen, yes. On the front of those little booklets, which you can take home and use as kindling on your fires, it's no problem. What I want you to do is write down a generic compliment, 1 per post-it note, okay? So you should have about 2 post-it notes each. Now, what do I mean by generic post-it note? Generic compliment. I mean things like, you did good at that project. You write really clean code. You're a good person. I like I like you. Think of something that you would say to your best friend if they were in this room right now. So just 1 compliment per post-it note. You are, and then something. Okay? Off you go. So as generic as you can make them. And compliment, please, not you look dumb, so, or you are stupid. Could be like, I like your style. You have the best laugh. I bet you make babies smile. Huh? Generic as you can make them. Your perspective is refreshing. Oh, this is a good website. You light up the room. On a scale from 1 to 10, you're an 11. Whew. Might get that on a t-shirt. I bet you sweat glitter. Okay. Has everyone wrote at least 1, preferably 2 post-it notes? Do we need some more time? Okay, what I want you to do now is hold up your post-it notes for me, because I don't trust you. Let me see them post-it notes. Post-it notes, front row. Where's your post-it notes? We ain't leaving till I see them. Do they have things on? Upsetting. Okay, you can put your arms down now. How did it feel doing that activity? Shout some words at me. Good? Yeah? Any other words? Painful? Funny? What else? Was it easy or hard? Hard? Easy? Mix? Hard? Doesn't work. Did anyone's pens not work? I believe you, don't worry. Thank you. Cool. Right, what we're going to do now is get the blood flowing a bit. You're going to put your post-it notes on the wall. Please don't trip each other up, okay? On this wall here. Come up. Just place your post-it notes anywhere. And then don't sit back down, but just kind of stand in the general vicinity if you can. Obviously, let people through put those post-it notes up. I don't know why are we all back here again? Go over there. I'm mean and I don't care. Go on, off you go. Over there, over there. Underlay. I'm sorry, Mr. Cameraman, I've gone away now. Out of your sight. Hiding. See, can't find me. Secret. I don't know why you all sat back down. I told you to stand up. Has everyone put their post-it notes on the wall? Don't worry if they're silly or or you wrote something mean. Well, maybe don't put it up then, but... So everyone put their post-it notes up? Yes? Can I hear a yes? Yes. Better than that, please. Can I hear a yes? Yes. Amen. Okay, what I want you to do now is take a different post-it note away. Okay? Something stretching. Something that you wouldn't necessarily say about yourself or agree with about yourself. Something that really puts you out of your comfort zone, okay? Don't take the one that your best friend next to you wrote. I know who you are. I can see you in the crowd. I know what you wrote. That's why you all hold them up. Got good eyesight, me. So go up, take away at least one different post-it note. Off you go. Don't just take the ones that are nearest to you either, read them. And then you can sit back down, I promise.
That's not fair.
How did that feel? What was it? Awkward? What else? Strange? Interesting? Was it easy or hard to find a post-it note? Hard? Yeah. Why was it hard?
Felt like fishing for compliments.
Fishing for compliments? Yeah, yeah. Like, oh, what am I good at? I picked up two. I'm going to share them. You don't have to share them with me if you don't want. The one is, I like your new hair because I've just had my hair done. So I'm very glad to have that one. especially because I work in an office full of boys who have not noticed, despite me going like this every 5 minutes. They say, can you stop that, please? And the other one I got is, you explain things really well, because that's not something that's, if someone says that to me, you explain things really well. I go, oh no, I didn't, straight away I'm rebuffing it. Straight away. So it's nice to see that one. Does anyone want to share what they might have picked up? Any volunteers? At the back there, what have you got?
You're an expert in your domain.
And are you?
I didn't think so until 5 minutes ago.
You are an expert in your domain. You are, believe it. Anyone else? Yeah?
I know you deserve the best.
You do deserve the best. No?
Yes.
Yes, you do deserve the best. Anyone else? Go on, you're eager, I can tell.
Now you know that. You're a good person and people say nice things about you.
You are a good person. People do say good things about you. It is. It's nice. It's a good measure. You're going to love this next part, even more than that activity. Because what I want you to do now is pick up your post-it notes and put them out in front of you. Go on, off you go. So you can read what's on them, straight out in front of you. Let me see those post-it notes. Why are you looking at me? Look at your post-it notes. Look at the post-it notes. Don't look at me, look at the post-it notes. Okay, on the count of 3, we're going to, in our heads, we're kind of like reading what's on them. So for me, you explain things really well. Really believe that message. Yeah. On the count of 3, we're going to say thank you for that compliment. Okay, so we're going to say thank you out loud. Right? Ready? Look at that compliment. 1, 2, 3. That's good. But I feel like you didn't put your heart into it. Okay? I want those people out there to be like, what the hell is going on in that room? So look at that compliment. Don't look at me, look at the compliment. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Fabulous. Now, how did that feel? Good? Anything else? I can take it, don't worry. I'll cry a bit early if it's all right. Was it weird? Awkward? Cringy? Why the hell have they brought this Welsh girl to London to say thank you to post-it notes? They really wasted their money there, right? It's because we need to learn how to accept compliments and positive feedback, like we're so good at taking on negative feedback. It's so easy to hear the negative and to drown out the positive. Now, there's a reason for this. It's British people are quite humble, quite modest. We push away that praise. Other cultures as well. Push away that praise. I can take that negative easy because I can implement that. I can do something with negative feedback. But with positive feedback, it just sits with you. Women are the worst for this. Sorry for the sweeping generalization there. But my group of friends, we say things like, oh, I really like your dress. And none of my friends ever say thank you. They go, oh, what, this old thing? It was just £1 in Primark and I didn't really want it and I don't actually like it. Does anyone do this? Someone compliments you on an item of clothing or your hair or your shoes or whatever it may be. You don't say thank you, you just push it off straight away. I like your glasses. Oh, no, I just found them in a bin and I thought I'd just put them on today. I don't know. Right? It's never just thank you. Oh, I like your shoes. Oh, they were on the street and I just grabbed them. I don't. Why do we do that? Because we can't take that positive on. We want to be modest, humble. So practice it when you're out with your friends next and they say things like, oh, I really like this. Thank you. Nothing else. When you're out with your teams and you go back to your day jobs and you give feedback, positive feedback, be present and notice what that person says back. They might say thank you at first, but normally it's surrounded by noise. You did really good at that project, thank you, but actually it was those guys and then this person. Thank you and move on. Hopefully that resonated with some of you. We're coming to the end now. So I'm going to leave you with some extra tips on how you can help yourself and help others if the tools haven't helped you today. The first is share your deepest insecurities. Share how you're feeling in this conference. When you come out, don't be afraid to say, I didn't quite get that, or I'm not sure why I went to that one, because I'll be brave and say it out loud, because you're not going to be the only person thinking about it. Get yourself a mentor, someone you look up to, and ask them about a time that they felt like a fraud or an imposter. Because I guarantee they would have at some point, even in their home life or their work life. And in turn, mentor other people and share your insecurities with them. This hedgehog believes you can do anything, so you should be able to do anything. When you get up tomorrow morning and you look in that mirror, I want you to think of this hedgehog. He's cheering for you. Woo! You can do it. Woo! Look in the mirror and say, yeah, I can do it. I believe in myself. And if you can't do that, say, AJ believes in me. Hedgehog believes in me. Because I do believe in you, and this hedgehog does believe in you. You can do it. Don't ignore it. Ignoring the problem makes it worse. Because you get into this weird, dark state, and you start analyzing, you start bringing it into your personal life. When are my friends going to realize I'm not as pretty as them? When are they going to realize that I'm not as funny as they think they are? When are they going to realize that I don't actually know how to adult at all and I'm just winging it? And it gets you down. Surround yourself with good friends, good family, good pets, good conferences. Talk to people. Don't be afraid, be brave. Join groups. These are my two favorites. South Wales Agile Group, Women in Testing. Because on there, on Slack, you're kind of like anonymous, right? You can just go in and be like, oh, I don't know what a burn-up chart is. Nobody judges you because, they don't care. You don't work for them. And they can help you. Everyone is going to feel like an imposter at some point during their life. Or if they're not, hopefully they can empathize with you a little bit. And that's okay. Surround yourself with people who build you up and in turn build other people up. The first time I did this talk, I was on the same time as a super important woman. Dorothy Graham, I'm not sure if anyone knows her. Very important lady. So I texted my crying in the toilet friend and I said, I'm on the same time as this super important woman. I was convinced that nobody would show up. And she said, no. You've got it confused. You're the super important woman. I thought, what a statement. Because I would never say to her, if she was doing this conference, I'd never say, oh, probably no one's going to show up. So why am I saying it about myself? I want to leave you with this message. And it is that you are enough. What you are doing in this world at this time is enough. Believe in yourselves. I believe in you. Hedgehog believes in you. What you're doing in your role, in your personal life, is enough. You are enough. On that note, we're coming to the end. I have a Menti link, which you can go on there and enter the code. You can call and text me if you so wish. This is so I can be your cry in the toilet friend. Please don't don't call me when you're doing something else in the toilet, okay? I don't want that. But if you're crying, or if you need that boost, if you need someone to ring you at 8 a.m. and say, you've got this, I'll do it for you. I might be a bit angry and groggy, but I'll do it. I'll build you up. And that's my real number. You can try it now if you need to. There's my Twitter account. Come tweet me, come follow me. If you took any pictures of me doing strange positions in front of the screen, feel free to tweet me at them and I'll block you. And yeah, I think we've got some time for questions. I've got some sources that I'll tweet out a bit later and some recommended reading. But thank you for coming along and thank you for participating. Any questions? If not, you can leave. Go on, what were you saying?
At the moment in IT, it's like the industry is it's very good from the employees. So in many companies, like my company, nobody fires people.
Yeah.
Because the people they hire, I guess the company thinks they are already good enough to do the work, and they don't want to fire anyone because they have too few people. So then you can think people can keep thinking that, well, they didn't fire me because, and that's what I think, they didn't fire me because they don't fire anyone.
Yeah.
The fact that they didn't fire me doesn't help in any way.
Sure. So, in summary, say this gentleman's company doesn't fire people very often.
It's the most IT companies.
Yeah, I think, in my organisation it's the same. It's very hard to fire people. So then when you look around and you see people perhaps not performing as well, and you think, well, if they should have gone by now, why haven't I gone? Is that kind of it, yeah? And it's hard. But I mean, nobody is truly safe in a job. At some time, those actual imposters will be found out and they will be got rid of. But you're still here, right? And I bet you've had praise from your co-workers. Hopefully, yes? Yeah? So you can't be that bad at your job. Because they haven't escorted you out of the building. What do you work on?
Financial.
Finance, yeah? So do you deal with kind of the money side? If what you're building, does that influence money in some way? Your end customer, yeah? So if you got something truly wrong, there would be a massive lawsuit. So you haven't done anything wrong. So you can't be that bad at your job. Yeah? Yeah? Any other questions? Yeah?
So I think most companies.
Oh yeah, sure. There you go.
Okay. So most companies has support for if you're going down with stress or something like that. Do you think such programs should be implemented in terms of what you have spoken of?
I think that everyone should at least be aware of what this is. So many people have only heard about it and think that it doesn't apply to them. So then when I come and do this talk, they're actually shocked and they feel a bit relieved that actually they're not the only people experiencing this and aren't the only people that feel this way. So I think the more that companies talk about it, the more we can create an open culture about talking about imposter syndrome more. Cut my lip. Ooh. And then likewise, by talking about it more, we can be more comfortable with not only gaining praise, but also having those big, honest, open conversations. So in summary, yes, I absolutely think this should be part of kind of some mental health training, some confidence building in companies. It's not quite there yet. Hopefully in the future. That's the time. I think we've probably got time for one more. Yeah? Let me run. Oh.
Thank you. Do you think that competitive personality types can intensify imposter syndrome in people that have it?
Absolutely. People who want to get ahead will brag about their successes and shout about them a lot more. So then when you're doing well, but you're not shouting about it and you're not getting recognized, it can eat away at you. So I take the example of one of my co-workers She's amazing and I love her. She absolutely breaks all modesty norms because she'll come in and be like, yeah, I did this and I did that and I'm amazing. And I should probably get a raise right now. Right? She's dead ballsy. I love her. And I sit there thinking, oh my God, I can't do that and I can't say that and I'll be judged if I do that. But that's not true. We're equal. It's just she's more trained. Her imposter is under better control than mine. So then when it does come to raises and promotions and things, because she's more confident about shouting about what she's done and her abilities, she'll be chosen over me. And that's why this stuff is important. Because sometimes imposter syndrome can hold you back. Does that answer the question? Yeah. Okay. I think that's probably it, seeing as I've got a thick lip. From all the excitement, that is. Again, thank you for coming and thank you to the volunteers for handing out the books. You can take them away. I think I've got some spare if you want to take any for teams. But yeah, tweet me, call me. Don't abuse me. Yeah, thank you very much.